What amazes me about Claressa Shields is when she has the audacity to go online and act as if she's the victim. Not only is she accusing others of defamation, but I could have sworn when she went on live yesterday, she was also defaming. Or was it just me?
Yeah, so beautiful, so lovely. People, I'd like to welcome to you.
Yesterday, Clarissa decided to go on live and, she calls herself defending her character and how integrity is this, how other people's are that, and how she's going to sue and calling people whores. She's talking about people defaming her, but she literally called someone a whore with 1,000 people watching. But I was able to catch this live. I don't ever catch anybody's live. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you today. If we're gonna go through this live, I'm gonna have to break this up in parts because it's a lot to take in and we'll literally be here forever. But I definitely want to go through the live in its entirety. But we're gonna chop this up.
I'm going to start this live off and keep it very, very simple. Very, very simple. That damn paid campaign that MVP put on talking about that I'm banned. I am not banned from boxing. I am not banned from boxing. I am not banned from boxing. Let's get that out the way. I'm going to say that throughout the whole damn thing. Throughout this whole live. I am not banned from boxing. They banned me from coming to MVP events. For those who don't know what
So who was out here saying that she was banned from boxing? But this is what I do know, right? From my understanding, as I was reading on like what can get you banned from boxing, and let's talk about that too. Real quick, because I think that in her mind, she feels as if we're all dumb. There are certain things that can definitely get you banned from boxing. So let's see. There's a couple of things that can get you banned from boxing, and one of them is physical altercations. Fighters can be banned from promoters or sanctioning bodies from specific events or venues for fighting outside the ring, such as unprovoked altercations in VIP sections or press conferences. Cheating, of course, and unsportsmanlike conduct, flagrant rule breaking like biting, hitting after the bell, or striking, things of that nature. Mandatory rest, athletic commissions enforce mandatory suspension, typically 30 to 90 days after a knockout or okay, no one cares about that. Yeah, like MVP promotions said, they banned her from any of their events. And so my issue is this, right? You did it to yourself. You decided to put your hands on somebody that you really had no business because she was talking about papoose in your relationship. And we're going to get into that a little later. But what did she say that would require you to be so livid to where you felt the need to put your hands on someone?
MVP is a promotional company. Shall I name the number of people? Should I name the number of promotions that exist in the world? MVP does not run boxing. So let's wrap that shit up. I'm not banned from boxing. Actually, I have a huge fight announcement coming soon. So we're going to start with that. Yes, and I am boxing. I'm definitely women's boxing for sure.
This is what pisses me off about her is that she doesn't like to be dismissed. She doesn't like for anyone to sit here and talk about her accomplishments or downplayed everything that she has achieved in boxing. And I could understand that to a degree, right? You don't like it. So therefore, why must you continuously let everybody know how great you are? Continuously let everybody know that you are the face of boxing. Listen, she kind of reminds me of someone who had like a football player in high school was like the star, this and the third. Here he is in his 50s, still glorifying stuff that he did back in the day. At this point, you're taking your accomplishments and you're making us not care. Right? If you think that people are downplaying what you have achieved, ma'am, you are literally doing it yourself. I don't feel like you're the face of boxing. I feel like because of all the issues that you have put yourself in and how you come across, I wouldn't think that anybody would consider you the face of boxing because you're too controversial, right? And then when you sit here and make it seem as if people are choosing other folks based on appearance is crazy business. The fact that you haven't taken a hard look at yourself and realizing the damages that you're doing to your own legacy is wild business. Like I'm sick of I'm the face, I'm the face. You're not to some, right? If you are to yourself, that's great. You should big yourself up. That's beautiful. But you're not to most of us. And this right here is one of the reasons why.
Now, I'm not going to get into too much of the situation that happened since folks from press charges, whatever the case may be. But I will say this. Both of MVP and Baumgardner's statements were lies. That is defamation of character. For those who saw the video of Baumgardner threatening me, telling me I'll beat your ass right now, biatch, that is a threat. So therefore, you saying everything that happened was completely unprovoked?
I'm not in law. I'm not a law enforcer. I'm not nothing, right? But this is what I do know dealing with the law at some point in my life. People can threaten you all day long, right? I can say what I want to say to you. Unless I am literally about to attack you, there'd be no reason to put your hands on me. Because trust me, I know what it's like to be threatened. I also know what it's like to threaten. But as long as a person doesn't put their hands on you, there's nothing you can nor do about that. So even if she said, yes, I'm going to whip your ass, right? She said that, right? I know she had said something that's along the line that, yes, she could beat you and she could do it right now. We don't know. I've heard people say, well, she was probably meaning, I'm not Alycia Baumgardner, so I'm not going to sit here and speculate what she was thinking when she said it. But what I saw from the video is that she said it to you and y'all was still within arm's reach. She wasn't in your face. She didn't poke your finger. She didn't do any of that. So just by her saying that, she felt the need to reach across and like get me to understand. And then you won, right? Then you kept retweeting your assault. The fact that you're standing 10 toes down on this situation and you see no fault is crazy work. Who is on your PR team? Not only who is on your PR team, that relationship that you're defending to the death of you, where is Pat? What is he saying? Is he not trying to guide you in the direction of, listen, this is not a good idea? I saw him post, he made a post on something about integrity. I'll put it up here, whatever. I'll put it on my shorts. There's no way that he thinks that you two embody integrity. Because if you made a mistake, you decided to put your hands on an individual and you realize maybe that wasn't a good idea. You apologize for your actions. You take whatever punishment comes with it and move it along. You don't get online antagonizing and then want to play the victim.
That's a lie. We all know that MVP's statement is always going to be to paint me out to be a bad person, to have bad character, to come after, to assassinate my character. We know that MVP does that. MVP tries to trigger me every chance they get, tries to pick at me. I mean, they literally came out the gate. When MVP first came out the gate, announcing that they were a promotion, they came out the gate calling Amanda Serrano the real GWOAT. And all through the comment section on that post, all you seen was, the GWOAT is Claressa Shields. The GWOAT is Claressa Shields. I had to literally send them paperwork and tell them, stop using GWOAT. That is trademarked, is owned, it's mine, it's me. They thought that they were just going to come out the gate and just take my whole identity and push the little black girl from Flint to the side. And didn't know that my brand was strong. My brand was strong. My fans were loud. And they couldn't come over and take over women's boxing and do nothing. So now that we're speaking on that, how they came out the gate just disrespecting me, I never really liked the whole MVP thing, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I was like, whatever, because the GWOP gonna keep doing what the GWOP do. And Salida Promotions has always backed me, always given me a big platform, and I have traveled the world beating girls down. 5 different weight classes. 5. 18-0, undefeated. All unanimous decisions. And then we have to remember that some of my career, I was doing MMA too. So,
Clarissa, my God, we don't care. And this is what I'm saying, right? I am a person who will always give someone their flowers, right? But when you continuously boast, and for me, right, I am not in boxing. I'm a person who likes to watch it from time to time. I'm also that watcher who goes for the underdog, right? If you are like Clarissa, I'm gonna always root for the person who she's fighting. That's how I was with Mayweather. I am not a Mayweather fan. I'm so sorry. I was never. I don't care how many fights, 45 to zip or 47. Don't care. Didn't like him. It was because of the boasting, that whole grandiose demeanor I just can't get with. Now, do I know that there's banter in boxing? Yes. But it be obnoxious banter, like I just can't get with. And he was one person I couldn't deal with. And this is how I feel about her. We know, girl, we know what you have accomplished. Let's talk about the mistake. If you have an issue with being banned from any form of promotional event, then say that, because you're bitter about that. There's nothing we can't, let's not skip around that. You're annoyed that MVP Promotions decided to put a ban on you going to any of their events. And we can sit here and talk about who's running MVP, right? I am not a Jake Paul fan, right? I find him quite obnoxious. But we're going to keep it a stack, though. Dude has money, right? I don't know where he falls into place with everybody else in any other promotional company, but we kind of know, right? I saw this kid literally come from doing YouTube videos to where he is now, and he has connections. So but it bothers you because you took the time. If you weren't about these people, you would have never made it your business to go to an event when you don't rock with someone. You don't but either you went there to root for Ronda Rousey, or you went there to start trouble. But even with that being said, but if you don't rock with a promotional company in general, you should have never been there.
This whole thing with MVP, they came out the gate trying to antagonize me, trying to erase me, trying to assassinate my character. And this has been going on for a very long time. It didn't just start with this.
What does assassination of character mean? I'm very curious. What does that mean? What does that look like? Let's look that up. Because what? Character assassination is the deliberate, sustained effort to destroy an individual's reputation, credibility, or moral standing through unfair criticism, rumors, and misinformation. Now, how do they go about trying to assassinate your character? But you know what? Before we even get into that, let's get into the statement that MVP put out so then we can get a clear understanding to what this lady is talking about. Most Valuable Promotions is aware of the incident during MVP's Rousey versus Carano event on Saturday night involving physical contact by Claressa Shields towards Alycia Baumgardner. MVP maintains a strict zero tolerance policy for hostile, threatening, or aggressive behavior toward fighters, staff, media, or guests at any of our events. Physical altercations outside the ring or cage are unacceptable in any MVP environment. MVP does not condone, tolerate, or accept Claressa Shields' behavior, and that setting and it reflects poorly on MVP and women's sports, which we have worked tirelessly to uplift. Effective immediately, Clarissa Shields is banned from all MVP events until further notice. There is a time and a place for fighter tension and banter,
but to physically attack a fellow athlete there as a guest inside a private MVP area is unacceptable. MVP would like to thank venue security for their swift response in addressing and de escalating the situation and appreciate Alycia Baumgardner not retaliating and further amplifying the situation. We remain committed to maintaining a safe, respectful, and professional environment for all participants and attendees at our events and will continue to enforce these standards without exception.
So after reading that, where are the lies?
So now that I'm looking at statements and I'm seeing people lie, it's okay because I'm not going to handle it with the law. I'm going to handle it with the court.
Now, this had already went viral, but listen, so when I was watching this live, I know that I'm an educated person, right? But when I hear things like that, I have to automatically just pause and hold on. What she say? Like, isn't, the law and the court the same thing? You get online with zero directions, right? And maybe you do it intentionally. Maybe your intent is to get online and sound as if you've never read a book in your entire life. And I don't know if that's a thing for you, if this is what actually makes your money versus boxing. But I would stop talking. Right? If you have not spoken to a publicist, you don't have a team that's going to sit here and guide what you should say online and what you shouldn't. I would suggest that you don't.
Y'all going to get sued for defamation of character. All of y'all up over there. So y'all need to get y'all checkbooks ready. Now that we're talking about that, because I have to go to my notes, I want to make sure that I hit this stuff. Not Nikisa lying, saying that I celebrated Shadesha Green having a brain bleed. For all y'all who are boxing fans, what have they been promoting for the past year and a half? They've been promoting that Shadesha Green can beat me in a fight.
Because when I tell you, I feel like Clarissa's delusion is so prevalent that it's quite disturbing to me. She does things and then she's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't do that. I can't diagnose anybody, but I'm pretty sure if a psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist were to actually analyze her behavior, they'll call it something. Because she celebrated. Now, no one knew that this lady had a brain bleed until days later. It wasn't later on that day, like she states here. She was gloating. Because it was like, y'all wanted her. There was the person y'all said that would beat me, da-da-da-da. But she fought the person that I beat with 2 torn shoulders, da-da-da-da-da. And it was like, did you not see the girl get carried out on a stretcher? And not one time did you show any empathy whatsoever that she could be truly injured. So when you don't acknowledge that, and not once did you mention that until a day or two later, you were gloating and celebrating. And the fact that you be clueless to the stuff that you do, it's like you lie on real time and swear up and down you did not say nor do anything.
Shadesha Green knocked me out. Shadesha Green better than me. You got Jake Paul at one of her press conferences saying, yeah, she'll knock her the fuck out. So now that this has happened, first of all, I watched the Shadesha Green and Lonnie Daniels fight, which, rewind, they have also been saying that all the girls I've been fighting been easy. I've been handpicking them. Like, I gotta handpick somebody who I can easily beat. I gotta handpick them so I can make myself look good. They've been saying for a year that I'm scared of Shadesha. She'll beat me in the fight, all this bullcrap. But instead of Shadesha fighting me after I got done fighting Franchon, she goes and fight Lonnie. Which I was like, why y'all doing that? I let y'all know. Y'all was saying I was scared of Shadesha and I was ducking her. So now I'm letting y'all know after I get done with this, I want her. Let's go. Let's get it booked. No. They go and fight against Lonnie Daniels. So I'm watching the fight live. I know Lonnie Daniels is heavy-handed. To make this story short, Lonnie Daniels TKO Shadesha ass in the 9th round. Okay? I'm watching.
Is anybody reading her body language? Now, mind you, I am not a body language expert. But when you do this, when you do that, right? Is that not like gloating, little celebratory. I don't know. I've been here on this earth for 46 years. I mean, I know it as that. This young woman irks the living bejesus out of me. And she contradicts herself all the time. And the fact that those who support her, because that's one thing I did notice during this live. But the reason why I think that her comments are the way that her comments are is because she set them up that way. She doesn't allow people in to truly give an opinion. She's constantly going to block. I believe that if she were to not allow you to follow her in order for you to comment, right, that, you know, you would see comments set up a little differently. Because mentally, she is incapable of handling criticism. She wants people to praise her all the time. And what I don't think that she's noticing is that, yes, you might be the greatest boxer of all time for women, right? I think the complete opposite. But let's just say that's what that is, what it is, right? Based on statistics, based on your accomplishments, whatever, your whole demeanor, your whole character, you dim your own light. You're dimming your own light. No one is doing this but you. We wouldn't be as harsh critics as we are if it wasn't for you.
I'm watching it live. As I'm watching it live, I'm commentating. I'm making videos. All of a sudden, after she gets beat or whatever, probably like 30 minutes, 40 minutes after the fight, they're announcing on TV that she had a brain bleed. So why is Nikisa making it seem like I was celebrating her having a brain bleed if no one knew she had a brain bleed? Come on now. Like, me out of all people, I know how serious boxing is. I've dealt with concussions. I haven't had no brain bleed. Thank God for that. But I've dealt with concussions. I know that we can die in there. But for Nikisa to let the words spill out of his mouth and say that I was celebrating Shadesha, who he cares about very deeply, losing after knowing she had a brain bleed. Nobody knew when we was watching Shadesha get her ass whooped that she had a brain bleed. Nobody knew that.
Understandable, right? But again, if you're watching it live, you saw how she was carried out on the stretcher. Not once did you pause and say, well, I pray that she is okay. You call yourself a Christian woman, right? And I understand when you ladies box, it's y'all are competing against one another. You have, again, this whole banter with one another. Y'all are gonna trash talk. I get all of that. But at what point do you look at her as, damn, because you know it could be you, that you would have paused and be like, you know what, let me just save whatever trash talk I have later until I find out that she is okay. It is that simple. It's that simple to just have not said anything. You could have congratulated who won and still say, I pray for Shadesha Green's recovery. We don't know what's happening. We're going to keep her in our prayers, this, that, and the third. And waited until you found out what was happening. And yes, a brain bleed is serious. And even with knowing that, I probably, if it was me, I probably still wouldn't have said anything because that could be you. And would you want a fellow boxer minimizing the severity of that condition and just wants to stick on the fact that they got beaten by someone? They could have died. Maybe the public wanted you to fight this girl based on size and based off skill, but you weren't exhibiting good sportsmanship when you decided to tweet, to go on your Snapchat and to discuss how she got knocked out. She could have been knocked out forever, and that didn't cross your mind. So stop downplaying how you came across. Who is on your PR team? Because someone needs to be telling you, yo, it's not about the half of the stuff that you say, it's how you say it, and that you don't take accountability for the things you do or say.
So, since we all so smart, let's go on Google and see what do you have to do to see if you have a brain bleed. It's testing involved. It's testing involved. You can't look at somebody and say, that's a brain bleed. Absolutely not.
Of course you can't, genius. But the fact that she was taken out on the stretcher indicates that something serious is happening. But you will skip that part and not acknowledge that, yes, I should have never did that. I should have never got online, gloated, and did all the things, then go on live and continue to gloat and bash her and bash other boxers and bash everybody else who doesn't like you. You didn't shoot that girl a prayer until people were telling you, man, you're mad foul for this. That's when you decided to, okay, let me just pipe this down a little bit and say, I hope and pray she's okay. When that should have been the first thing that came out your mouth, Christian woman.
So, because I'm about to go to my notes on this, because I hate when people lie on my character, bro. So basically, I feel you have to go and get a CAT scan, a CT scan, for them to tell you how big the brain bleed is, how serious it is. She had a brain bleed that was a 9 millimeter, and they didn't have to give her no surgery. She had to stay sedated for, I think they said, 24 hours. So anybody who's watching the fight, we don't know that as we're watching the fight live, like many of us do, us streamers, us broadcasters, that during the fight, she has a brain bleed. We just know that she went through medicals, she made it through medicals, she fought, and she lost. So don't make it seem like I was coming at Shadesha or making fun of her having a brain bleed and possibly could have died.
We're staying on this topic way too long, but it's pissing me off more and more because no one said that you were making, well, maybe that person did, whoever she was talking about, was stating that you were making fun of the actual brain bleed. You did not pause. Damn, how long does this part last? You did not pause to acknowledge the severity of what could possibly be happening with Shadeja Green when she was taken out on a stretcher. How are you missing this? So, again, that is not defaming someone's character. That's exactly what we all witnessed you do.
That's not who I am. So, for Nikita...
Alpha, that's exactly who you are. You are not a... okay, please let me know down in the comment section. Am I missing it? Am I not seeing who this person is, right? Mind you, and I will say this to the day I leave this earth, I did not know who Claressa Shields was until she got with Papoose, right? You know how she'll sit here and say how big she is, she's this, she's that, whatever. She's a GOAT. Ma'am, I did not know who you were. Didn't even think of looking to know who you were until you got with this dude. And I think that you're missing that part too. Most of us didn't know who you were. Now, granted, when it comes down to women's sports, it does get watered down because, of course, and it's unfortunate that men's sports dominates what the women have going on. And they're not saying not knowing you was a good thing, but it's the truth. I didn't know who you were, nor thought of anybody, it really truly, in female boxing. I like boxing within itself, but never paid attention to women's boxing like that. Maybe the time when Layla Ali was when she was boxing, but even with her, I knew that she was great, but didn't stop to really pay it no mind the way I did with men's boxing. But nonetheless, it's like you brag about yourself as if people automatically knew who you were and downplay the fact that we didn't find out who you were until you got with Pat. And that legacy that you're trying to continue to uplift and to preserve, you are truly diminishing. If you were ever a kind person, because there's a picture of you hugging the hell out of Alycia Baumgardner, and she's looking like this. I wish she would just let up a little bit. You are the type of, how it comes across, I don't know you, but you come across like the girl who wants to be picked, who wants to be chosen, wants to be a part of something. And you may exhibit weird behavior, and then people stop wanting to deal with you. And then you become this person, this brat, this person who feels the need to want to always come online and defend their legacy. People's legacy doesn't have to be defended. Do you think that any of the whatever female greats that are out there that will be online every single day talking about how great they are, how many awards they have received? No one does that other than you.
Keisha to have as many conversations as he's had back and forth with me, and I thought that we were kind of cordial. Don't go around lying on my character like that. And this is not the first time y'all have done that. And Alycia put this in her bum ass statement too, talking about and she celebrated a fighter who had No, I didn't. And guess what? What the hell does that have to do with the situation that happened between you and I? Nothing. Just adding stuff to try and assassinate my character. It has been going on for so long. For so long. It's ridiculous.
My only question is, right, let's just say that people are truly trying to assassinate her character. What is it about her? What is it about Claressa Shields that makes people want to talk negatively about her? Is she the type of person who is loving and very compassionate and shows support to everybody? Isn't a backstabber, great friend, sister, daughter, mother? Like, is she all of the things, and then all of a sudden people are wanting to come out and then just speak poorly about her? Let me know.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous from them. And they continue to do it. Now, like I said, this whole paid hate train, they got everywhere with pictures of me with the word banned on it. I'm not banned from boxing. They banned me from coming to their weak ass events that I don't want to go to anyway. They invited me. I was going to go see the great Ronda Rousey. Get up out of here. Get up out of here with that. So I wanted to address that because I'm not finna keep letting them put stuff on my name.
Is it just me? Because I remember, right, when she fought Franchon, and in comparison to the MVP fight, well, the one that just took place, right, the MVP promotions, what just took place. And what I did notice about them, the stadium was, or the arena was packed. The arena was packed. There was beautiful lighting. It looked like it wasn't whack, like she said. Was it just me? Because everything is whack to her, but let's keep it a stack, right? You don't have to like them, right? Of course. You feel like they're talking trash about you. They are minimizing your legacy. You feel like they're defaming you. I get all that. But in comparison to your event that we saw, it didn't look as lively as what happened with Ronda Rousey's fight. Just putting that out there. Calling people whack and they truly not whack. Meanwhile,
I had to send them paperwork for them to stop using quote. How are y'all going to promote y'all whole promotions off of Claressa Shields, but y'all hate Claressa Shields?
If I find how they've been using her name to promote themselves, I would love to find that, because if that's the case, okay, then that's whack, right? But I just have a deep down feeling that they don't do that. But I'm going to say that I have to do my research first to verify whether or not these people actually do that.
Yeah, I'm banned from MVP events until further notice, whatever that shit is. Who cares? MVP is nothing but a promotional company. I'm signed to Selena Promotions and Win Records. I am not signed to MVP. And guess what? There's not one girl on the MVP roster that can beat me in a fight. That's what they're mad about. They pop all that stuff.
Why would they be mad about that? Give me that. Why would anybody care whether or not they had someone on their roster to beat you? They don't want to deal with you. So nobody cares. Nobody cares. I promise you, these people will continue to make money with or without the name of Claressa Shields.
Shadesha was they only hope that they had. And she got knocked out by a girl in the 9th round. And this is the same girl, Lonnie Daniels, who I beat unanimously with 2 torn shoulders.
What does that mean? Why does she keep bringing that up? She's so childish. What does that mean? Maybe she doesn't understand. Any form of blunt force, regardless of the intensity, can cause the issue that Shadeja Green went into, right? Maybe she is not comprehending that could potentially, even though she may appear to be winning a fight, one false blow to the dome, that could happen to you. And the fact that she keeps kind of like poking at it. You're calling Shadeja Green whack without calling her whack, and yet you don't see how you're doing that?
No, I know y'all saying that it don't have to be explained, but it do. Because I just can't keep letting people go around lying on me. It's really getting out of hand. And then they've been doing this. Like, Jake is mad that back in the beginning, when I started my MMA career, that I said that I wouldn't fight on the undercard of him. Guess what, Jake? It's been 5 years since I said that, 2021. And the fact still remains. I will never fight on the undercard of a Jake Paul. And I'm still going to get my $8 million deal. I'm still going to sell out 18,000 seat arenas. I don't need MVP.
Okay, you keep talking about this $8 million deal. Did you get it or not? You just said, I'm going to continue to get my $8 million deal. Did you get it or not? This $8 million that she keeps talking about is like, she acts like that is all the money in the damn it world, right? You got a $3 million bonus, right? She says it in here. I'm going ahead of what she's talking about. But she said that she got $3 million. What have you done with your money? What I will say, what you haven't done with this money, with your $8 million deal, $3 million sign-on bonus, whatever the hell, right? You haven't invested in a publicist. You haven't invested in a good wardrobe or a personal assistant that can pack your bags to make sure that you have everything you need when you go traveling and that you're not repeating the same outfit 3 days in a row. This is what we know that $3 million, $8 million money hasn't done anything for you because you haven't invested in it. Because if you had a good solid team, they would keep you from being online. You would have a person that would pack your bags and make sure that you're not packing your own damn bags and putting in, all you brought was vitamins to your location without clothes and without shoes or without anything, right? You're rocking $90,000 on your wrist, but you can't pack 3 outfits to make sure you're not repeating the same outfit 3 days in a row, just changing your shoes.
I don't need Jake Paul. I don't need y'all. I don't need y'all. Nobody on y'all stable is making the money that I make, selling out the arenas that I'm selling out. And then y'all want to keep trying to attack me and bother me.
Again, y'all. Please. And if I can do the side-by-side picture of what the arena looked like when she fought Franchon and what the arena looked like for MVP, I had to see the side by side, right? Because and everybody should big themselves up, right? You should make yourself feel good. If you can do it, no one can. But she's obnoxious with this thing. For one, when I looked it up, she is not the female boxer that has sold the most tickets. She's not it. I think she's second. There's a Kate person that has outdone her. And when it comes down to pay-per-view sales, she's not highest there either. When I even looked up Layla Ali, because, I mean, it's a different time, right? But pay-per-view was definitely a thing. And when she fought, 100,000, I guess, pay-per-view tickets were sold. So it's all of you are great, right? And that's the point that I'm trying to make. All of you are great. And for whatever reason, you just feel like you're on this mountain by yourself and you want everybody to praise you like a golden calf. And no one else can be great. And when God forbid someone else is getting attention, it's like you crumble. It's like you lose yourself. But you just know that there's therapy for that.
Crazy. And all this whole thing that I'm a bully, I have been professional in boxing 10 years. I turned professional 2016. So yes, 10 years. I have never had...
You are a professional boxer, but you are the furthest thing from professional.
No incidents happened between me and no other boxers. So all this whole thing that I'm a bully, and there's been plenty of them who done talk stuff to me. From men to other women. This is the only incident that...
I don't know if people they say other things about you. I feel like people have criticisms about you and you take them personal, right? This is not the only incident that you had, maybe a physical one. I mean, I don't think so. I think this is the second altercation you had with Alycia Baumgardner, but you are known to sit here and talk trash to other female athletes. When they respond, you play the victim. Why aren't you seeing this?
That I've had. So to go around and say that I'm a bully, I'm not no bully. I stand up for me. I try to go around respecting everybody, but others just don't have no respect. Now that we're talking about no respect, y'all in boxing, right? I keep telling all of y'all, the girls that box, whatever, keep the shit boxing, right? Because that's what I do. I don't get into girls' personal lives. Baumgardner decides she want to keep mentioning me and my relationship in her mouth. Now, to her, I've never spoke about how she's a whore.
We're going to get to this whore business, but we're going to actually listen to what, at least what I could find or what came across my timeline, what Alycia Baumgardner said about Claressa Shields and her relationship. And I need you as the public to sit here and say whether or not what she said was derogatory to a relationship that she happens to be in, who she's actually associating herself with someone's husband, right? And somehow she keeps missing that. You want to sit here and call someone outside their name, but you're the person, whether this lady had slept with a bunch of people, you are the person who decided to lower your standards to deal with someone who is, by law, unavailable to you, right? This man can't marry you tomorrow can't marry you today. He's been in a divorce for a year now, 2 years now, right? And what's happening? No movement. Remy Ma and him are not billionaires, girl. It's not like they have to go through a whole bunch of assets, but you want to sit here and talk about someone being a whore. Talking about someone being a whore, I don't know if she is that person who befriended your boyfriend, befriended his wife, got cozy and all with her, and then you started dating her husband. What kind of sleaze does that? You want to sit here and literally get up online calling someone a whore, but yet you made moves like that. Oh, Remy, I love your style. Oh, Remy this. Oh, Remy that. Meanwhile, you were scoping out her spouse. That's shady business, my dear. That's not, defamation. That's actual fact. So I don't understand why people have the inability to think before they actually start speaking. But anyhow, all that to say, let's look up what Alycia had said.
That's a married man. You fucking with a married man at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck if he has a woman. If he has a marriage that is on paper to a woman, why are you messing with a married man? Regardless of what the situation is, it's just like that shit to me would be off limits, right? Clarissa is a whole world champion, okay? Multi-world champion. She has no kids. She just had a movie come out about her life. And you're entertaining bullshit like that. At this point, she don't have nobody guiding her in the right direction. She don't have no good friends around her to let her know what she doing is some bullshit.
Maybe it's me. How I took what she said was saying, hey girl, Clarissa has so much going on for herself. She's accomplished. She just had a movie made about her, glorifying who she was. And felt like, why would you settle for a 47-year-old married man when you have so much going on for you? And based off what she said, I don't know how old that video is, but based off what she said, was she wrong, right? Was she wrong? She literally foresaw this happening. And maybe that's why Clarissa is better. Maybe she's upset because she knows that Alycia was not wrong, that the reason why things are going downhill and not going in her favor is because she got herself involved with a person who is no benefit to her. She's a benefit to him, but he's no benefit to her. That's why she has to be bitter off of that. Like, damn, this girl was right. Now I'm super vexed. Say that. You're mad because she was actually correct. She was actually acknowledging your greatness, and you still couldn't see. She wasn't talking about, yes, the relationship is bull, right? But she saw more in you than what you are doing for yourself. When she knew that you were headed in the wrong direction by messing with this dude. Mind you, I like Papoose, right? I like that dude. But what I will say is, if he cared anything about you, and I've said this repeatedly, if he cares anything about you, he will let you go. He will let you thrive. Because at the end of the day, this man is anchoring you in this foolery. This man cannot be doing that much that has you so consumed to where you are incapable of letting go. He is truly ruining your brand. And I'm saying this to you, dark-skinned sister to another one. As much as I don't like your demeanor, one thing I wish you would actually gather is that you are going down this slippery slope of destruction and it's over a relationship in your mouth. If you are in therapy, please let me know who your therapist is. Because it's like, is she getting anything? Has she been prescribed something and she's not taking her? And this is for real. This is like not even being funny. Is she not taking her meds? Because you can't be online just being reckless and thinking that it's okay and that it's not going to affect you long term. Your belts, your medals, your wins are not going to preserve your legacy, their items. How you carry yourself as an individual will keep your name alive for years to come. In this moment, you're going to be known as Papoose' mistress, and that she ruined her career dealing with a married man. Because whatever accomplishments that you have made at the age of 17, you are now 31. It's time to level up. This is not working in your favor. You should have major brand deals. You should have photo shoots after photo shoots. You should have a lot more going on than sitting online talking to us. How doesn't that upset you in a little bit? The only brand ambassador situation you have going on is your boyfriend's daughter's new cosmetic line. Like, come on, man. It's frustrating that you don't see where your legacy is going.
Yeah, I never spoke about that. How many guys she done slept with, how many boxers she done slept with, what she done. I don't speak about her life, right? But she has gotten too comfortable. First, you disrespect my boxing, trying to say that my resume ain't this and ain't that. Try to disrespect my legacy. Try to say I got AI 6-pack. You want to say I'm jealous of you because you cute and I'm supposedly ugly. And then...
Okay, we're going to talk about this. When I heard this AI 6-pack, I don't know if someone had said that about her or not. Or maybe, I think I want to say that I've seen Alycia Baumgardner say something in reference to her not being in shape or whatever. Being a fluffier person. What I have noticed with you, and this is something that you have to acknowledge too. Clarissa, girl, you eat a lot. You eat a lot. And I was actually watching a streamer, and I want to say his name is Skinny TV or something like that. Mad funny. But I can't. Oh, this is when you had run on your rant about the preacher, and I want to talk about that, but this is not the time. Even though it's a few weeks old, I still want to get into that. But anyway, and he was like, your fupa was killing him because you have pudgy moments, right? And it's okay, but that's the thing. It's like, acknowledge that. That girl, Alycia Baumgardner, stays in shape. That woman lives in the gym, right? You live in the gym when you have to, and it's okay. But my thing is, maybe it's not okay for your profession, but I'm just saying, that's just your reality. But you call it a diss. It's the truth. Y'all both talk trash, but somehow you get wounded when people talk trash back to you. And the fact that you felt comfortable calling this lady outside her name publicly, at least at that, because I think because I was on live watching it, your audience was between 1,000 to 800 people watching. Let's discuss defamation really quickly, because it's about to get worse for you when you as you continue to talk. But let's discuss defamation, because you've thrown it around too. The definition of defamation is the act of making a false statement of fact to a third party that harms another person's or business reputation. It is an umbrella term that covers both spoken and written falsehoods. The two types of defamation are libel, defamation in a permanent or published form, such as in writing, printing, or online posts. Slander, defamation made via spoken words or fleeting actions, such as in a broadcast speech, video, or verbal conversation. Now, you, my dear, decided to go live, right? Go live and call this lady a whore, but then you also double down with it. Like, let's talk about it, because I don't understand how you accuse others of defaming you when, if you want to talk about what she said about your relationship, she wasn't defaming you. If we want to talk about your relationship, fact is your person is married. That is a fact. No one needs to say alleged because that is the truth. Is that man divorced? Nope. Is that a fact? No one needs to say alleged because that is the truth. Are you an accomplished person who is dealing with a married man who, now, by saying that he might be using you, now that might be a stretch. We can all comfortably say that's a good possibility because 17 years your senior wants to build his life with this young person. And not one time do you sit here and pause like, why me? It's not because you're a good boxer. And it's not because of your physical appearance. It's not. I'm not calling you anything, but it's not that. Is it your intellect? Clearly it's not your intellect because you get online, just start talking. So what do you think it could be?
After all that shit don't work, then you bring it to my relationship. That's what the conversation was about, to tell her, keep popping it how you popping it. But keep that there out your damn mouth. Because I don't go around talking about how you're a whore and you have a Jezebel spirit. I don't walk around talking about that. So now, since we want to talk about it, since we talk about people's relationships, no.
This whole Jezebel spirit, I know I've heard it from Battle Truth and how he refers to her as having a Jezebel spirit. So she's definitely watching the content creators for sure, because she's just not coming up with that terminology on her own. What becomes a little fuzzy to me is that you want to talk about this woman being a whore and how she's out here doing the most and with whatever boxers or whatever. But you are a person who is claiming that they're a Christian. Now, granted, none of us are perfect. None of us are walking this earth unflawed. You are truly dealing with a married man, and I don't understand why you feel like under the word of God that is okay. I don't and the thing is, your preacher, the person, what's her name? I can't remember what her name is. But anyway, whoever you were online with, the fact that she said that she loves your life was crazy business to me. When it comes to spiritual guidance, that minister, pastor, bishop, whoever is guiding you spiritually needs to hold you accountable for what you are doing. There should be not a moment in a conversation does a person say to you that the things that you're doing are correct. You're sitting here calling this woman outside of her name. Why? Because she had an opinion about your relationship, and somehow you're not pausing to look at what it all looks like, especially coming from a spiritual view, because you're the one that's praising God left and right, which is great, but it's very contradictory to how you're acting. And then you have this lady who's in agreement with how you're behaving. Now I'm looking at her. If you are a minister, who are you leading? I think when I had looked her up and looked in her bio, she was like that she's a shepherd. Who are you leading? But why would you think it would be okay to sit here, let this girl know everything that she's doing correct with you, know that under the eyes of God, it's incorrect? Now, we all kind of dramatize the whole marriage thing because you already know Remy Ma and Papoose they've gone their separate ways. But even with that being said, though, the fact that he has yet to divorce her makes everything look kind of sketchy, right? And somehow she doesn't see it. So he's not available. He can't be available to her. He cannot. He can't be available to her until that marriage is over with. And somehow she's okay with that. And as a spiritual guider, there's no way that you should be okay with that without acknowledging it. And you should have did it live. And not only is she doing what she's doing, she's also getting online trying to humiliate another person. But it gets worse.
We about to get into it because I try not to get personal, but now since you want to get personal and you want to keep running your mouth, I got something for you. I didn't say this. I didn't say this, by the way. I'm just confirming it now.
We really know you, Alycia. Niggas that really ran through you, nigga. Stop it, nigga. Sonny Fredrickson ran through you. Bunny ran through you.
Robert
Yeah,
Eastern.
Robert Eastern ran through you, boy. Hold on, Dominique Dawson ran through you. Hold on, Montana Love ran through you.
I don't know how many guys this.
The fuck wrong with you, boy? Everybody has some, man. Tony just like you.
So hold on. For somebody to run around and say that I'm jealous of them, I want to be them because they so cute and they this. Baby, I'm untouched out here. Flat out. All them dudes plus more that was mentioned ain't never, could never. But she run around talking about some I'm jealous, I'm envious, I want to be her, I'm insecure. No, baby. Letting everybody do what they want to do with you, that's insecure.
So, Clarissa, my question to you is, did Alycia sit down and have a conversation with you about who she slept with? That's one. And if she had a conversation with you about who she slept with, you decided to get online to discuss. But I don't even think that's how that went down. You saw this post and was like, got her. Ta-da, let me go ahead and get online and just start spilling this stuff about how she's a whore. If you want to talk about defamatory, being defamed, right? Suing for defamation. Well, I probably wouldn't have suggested that you do what you just did. So you took Adrian Bronner, whatever his name is, right? Mind you, when he was coming up as an early boxer, right? He had that arrogance, but he was also being guided by Mayweather. He had that, and I just could not stand this kid. Didn't like him then. But you want to sit here and say that this man's word is bond when half of the time, not even half of the time, all of the time when he is online and he is streaming with whoever he's streaming with, he is intoxicated. When looking at him and from a boxer to this bloated, looks like he has ascites, like his liver is probably starting to, go out from all of the drinking, right? You decide to sit here and take this man's word for bond to come online to insult this girl. This is where I really hope that Alycia Baumgardner is using her noggin and taking all of this information and going straight to her lawyer. All she said about you was maybe you're a little pudgy, okay? Maybe you're a little pudgy, and maybe she felt like you were not focused because you're spending too much time with that married man. Maybe that was her only two, and she felt like she saw more in you than you spending all that time focused on a person who can't focus all that time on you because he's still married. He still lives in another state. He has voiced that he does not live with you, he has no intention on living with you. Oh, you want to have a baby with someone who can't put a ring on it, but yet you want to praise God all in the same sentence? And this is not defamatory business. This is something that you have put online for all of us to see. You have gone on several platforms talking about this and that and what you're going to do with someone who's unavailable to you. But you, my dear, took the time to call this woman outside of her name for 1,000 people to see. And then the person you're co-signing is a full-blown alcoholic. And the way that man degrades women, his wife even, and you're going to sit here and be like, yeah, this is proof that she has done all of this. So you're taking someone who went online to slander a person. You took that information and now you have placed it on your platform. So now that we have that information from you, most of us, like myself, went looking for it. Now, again, if you want to know the definition of defamation, you may have given a good example of what that looks like.
That's insecure. And I'm not insecure about my looks, about my size, about nothing. I'm a very beautiful chocolate dark woman, and I have no problem with that. I'm strong as hell, beautiful as hell, tall as hell. Love it.
As a person who has battled with insecurity as an adolescent, I may be in my 20s a little bit, but as I sit here before you, I'm very confident, right? But I will say this, as a confident Black Latino woman, I do not go around saying that I'm confident. I do not going around talking about how beautiful my black ass is. Either you see it or you don't. I don't have to prove to you how beautiful I am. I know what it is. Must I keep telling the whole world what I look like? If you are truly confident, you carry yourself as such and you keep it pushing. Every other post is a freaking live affirmation. I'm beautiful. I'm black. I'm tall. I'm this. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Okay, girl. If you feel that way, I love that for you. But you can't be so confident if you have to have it on repeat. If you must tell yourself day in and day out about how beautiful you are is you're not it's not registering. If you feel the need to sit here and talk about other women, their skin tone, what they might look like, calling them a whore, you're not exhibiting what a confident woman looks like, regardless of race, color, or creed. You're doing the complete opposite. Now, this is what I will say. In your defense, people calling you ugly is quite disgraceful. I don't have to sit here and tell you what I think about your physical appearance or whatever. How you feel about yourself is the most important. When people want to sit here and talk about your face, how you're not pretty, how you're ugly, or how that's your Christian face when you don't have makeup on, this and the third, it is quite insulting. And how that could possibly affect your self-esteem, I mean, it's great, right? If people everywhere are talking about just your physical, not just how you come across as a person, but just your physicality, something that you cannot control, that might come off hurtful. But when I say that, all that negative talk can be diminished if you would decide to be a softer person in general, right? Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. If you carried yourself with some form of grace, not saying that you have to like everybody that talks about you, not saying that you shouldn't defend yourself, because that's not what I'm trying to get across. But what I'm saying is, if you would just tone down the aggression, like you feel like everybody's trying to attack you all the time, you're unwilling to take any form of criticism, right? And no one's trying to insult you. They're just trying to guide you and say, hey, maybe you should try this versus that. Maybe you get a different outcome if you would stop doing this. And you hate that. So it makes me wonder that maybe you don't have a solid team because you might be difficult to work with. But that's the speculation that I'm coming up with based on your demeanor. There should be a solid team behind you, guiding you and saying, hey, to preserve your brand, you shouldn't do this. And I don't know if this live is still up because you truly went up there and decided to talk about this lady. And that wasn't a smart move. A confident woman wouldn't talk about a confident woman like that, especially if you guys are colleagues, regardless of the weight class. Y'all are both supposed to be professionals. And you took this deranged, inebriated person as spitting the gospel truth about that woman's character. That's pretty gross.
Love it. I wish God would have made me darker. Love it. Very well accomplished, very well rooted up in God too. Just because you're rooted up in God does not mean that you're perfect. No one is perfect. But what I will say is I have a great relationship with God. But sometimes you have to... Is this video done? Hold on.
Yeah, son, man. Tony just like.
Hold on, I'm running
Shout out
again.
to Tony. I fuck with Tony. You know what I know? Keep the hoe on the stroke. And we got footage.
That's crazy.
Footage too.
First of all, I'm not even a person who will argue with Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner will come and say he crazy. But like I said, I respect that he can come out after she was talking shit about him and inserting herself in something that had nothing to do with her. He came out and exposed all her business.
So you have respect for someone, right? As a Christian person, you have respect for that man to come out and berate Alycia Baumgardner because she might have had some form of criticism. I don't know what she could have possibly said. But this dude, just based on the few videos I've had filtered through in the last 24 hours, I'm pretty sure whatever she might have said wasn't wrong. His demeanor is out of pocket. Out of pocket. Somehow you just thought that this was cool. As a person of faith, you thought this was cool. We are to aim to do better each and every single day. I believe that you try to be, but somehow you are unsuccessful in doing so. And again, whoever is your pastor, deacon, deaconess, whoever you talk to for some form of spiritual guidance needs to really check you on that and be honest with you. Because there's no way, and you can have a relationship with God, right? I can't be up here and tell you what your relationship with God looks like, because that is between you and God. But if we're basing things off of the word and his expectations of us, I don't think that you're walking in that same light based on word. So, and anybody who is trying to guide you in that space should be telling you the same thing.
Expose all her business. So when you want to talk about me and all my, and try to talk about my relationship, just know that I've never took your low down there with you and talked about how you're a whore. And now she was talking about how you're a whore. Why the hell did your ex-boyfriend reach out to me? Listen, I knew you was a hater, but I didn't know it was that deep. I didn't know it was hell deep, your hate. But after talking to this, I got it now.
Can someone please let me know what she said, or maybe the conversation that she had with her ex? Maybe whatever he said to her is what made her say that, there's a lot of hate for Clarissa. But if you say that, right, why didn't you let us all know what he said? What was so hateful? Because if we're basing it off the little things that she has said, I wouldn't say they were hateful. But if she said something to her boyfriend, maybe? But what was it? You should let us all know. You just can't say that and then leave us empty-handed for us to think that, okay, well, you really didn't say nothing. So how hateful is she? You're not saying anything.
I understand it now. And guess what? It's worse than what I thought it was. It's worse than what I thought it was. I thought maybe you was a little jealous and maybe you wanted to have the stardom and everything. Girl, it's deeper than that. It's crazy. So now that I got off on that, I have to keep saying throughout this whole thing, I am not banned from boxing. I'll be announcing another fight in just a couple of days. So now that I had to talk about these lies, I got some stuff, bro. Because, I think I touched on everything. Oh, and now let's talk about, everybody talking about some me and this girl should fight. She thinks she can beat me in a fight because she told me to my face, I'll beat your ass right now, and bitch, you're easy, whatever. I don't know who she thought she was talking to, but I would just tell you this. She not gonna fight nobody. She not gonna fight me because there are weight classes, and she's always been 130, and the lowest I've been is 154, undisputed at 160 twice, 168 champion, 175 undisputed, 175 plus undisputed. I've been, look at all this. Look. 5 different weight classes. The lowest one is 154. Now, she's talking about she's going to, that she would come up and weight and fight against me at 54 or 47. She's not even going to go up 5 pounds to fight against Caroline Dubois, who's at 135. And been calling her out heavy. She's not going to fight her. She's not going to fight Michaela, who said she'll come down to 140 and fight her. She keeps calling out Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, and she's not even on their level. She wants to skip she will not fight nobody who's really like that. Because ain't no way a girl to be 5 pounds from me, calling me out how Caroline is calling Baumgardner out, and you just, oh, nah, she's not good enough. She's a puppy. She's this. Show her she a puppy. And guess what? Nikisa told me out his own mouth, it takes 2 to tango. Caroline wants it. Alycia doesn't. That's what Nikisa said. Yeah, he said that right to me. And now, since I want to speak on something else, talking about how people not happy and people hating. Not even last month, 2 months ago, Baumgardner's team is reaching out to my team, Win Records, talking about she want to fight on the undercards of my fights. She want to do some stuff with us, collaborating together. She see I'm really winning up over here. really making money up over here. And now you want to go behind your team's back, MVP, and you want to sign with Salida Promotions. You want to sign with Win.
I hope that's factual for her sake. Why would she leave where she is to be under Salida Promotions and under Wind Records? How many boxers are under Wind Records? So this is part one, because there's still, like, based on this video, I still have a whole other half to go through. But Clarissa, she talks real big, and she's doing all of this, and she's not realizing that at some point she needs to shut her pie hole. This is not benefiting her whatsoever. This is not making her likable. This is not going to sell her tickets. If any tickets are going to be sold, whoever she decides to fight next, I think people are going to see in hopes of a downfall. But she's saying that whoever she's about to fight next, it's going to be big. She's having this announcement, but who is she going to fight? Let me know down in the comment section, like, who do you think she could possibly fighting next? That person doesn't have to get to her level in order to fight her. Who is she going to get in shape for, right? Where they're both in the same level. No one has to make no adjustments to meet nobody anywhere. Who is that person? Let me know down in the comment section. And let me know down in the comment section, what do you think so far? Do you think that she should have went on live, talking the way she was talking, and actually appearing to defame another person, another boxer, the way she did? Is she right? Did you feel like this live was necessary to defend who she is as a person? Let me know. But this is the end of part one. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this video by giving it a thumbs up, leaving a comment down below, and please share and subscribe to the channel. If you want to be a part of a family who likes to talk about whatever we want to talk about and have respect all at the same time, come on. This is where you need to be. And I will catch you in part two. Bye.
That's what I'm talking about.